Today we're going to learn about 1.5 factoring nth degree polynomials. So remember from yesterday, we have to really understand what the word factor means. Factor means to form a product. So in most of these, we're going to be taking trinomials, we're going to convert them into binomials and things with GCFs. But remember, you're always forming a product, so your final answer usually has like double sets of parentheses, things like that. So the difference about 1.5 from last year is that you're going to notice the degree of the polynomial is no longer 2. However, all of these have what we call quadratic form. So last year when you did x squareds plus x plus some number, you know that they always factored into like parentheses with an x in the first spot and parentheses with another x. Well, now we're going to have to figure out the new degree, but keep an eye on the middle term. So let's look at number 1. We have x to the 4th plus 14x squared plus 40. So if we factor that, we can see that it's a trinomial that looks kind of like a quadratic. So we're going to try our double sets of parentheses. Think about what multiplies by itself to get x to the 4th. We have x squared and x squared. And then because we have a positive 40 at the back end and we have a plus 14x squared in the middle, we know that all of our signs are positive for our binomial. And we think about the factors of 40 that would end up making 15. So there's a lot of options. If you think about 8 times 5 is an obvious choice to make 40, but 8 and 5 are not going to combine to make 14. Another obvious choice is 10 and 4. You think about 10 and 4, that would make 14. So we write down plus 10 plus 4. It doesn't matter if you write x squared plus 4 first or second, remember, because multiplication is commutative. And then what you would want to do is, in some of these problems, you'll want to continue to look and see if you can factor some more, but you can't factor x squared plus 10 because it's not going to factor into 2 binomials that would eliminate that middle term. All right, let's look at number 3. What I'm going to have you do is I'm going to show you how to do these, and then I want you to go back and check kind of the even problems at the end of this video to see if you can get them right. All right, so number 3. We have 5m to the 4th minus 55m squared plus 140. Now at first glance, these numbers are pretty big and I'm not used to it, but remember, one of the basic rules of factoring is always see if you can take out a GCF, which stands for greatest common factor. So in number 3, there's a common 5. So we're going to take out the 5. And that's going to leave m to the 4th minus 11 m squared plus, if you think about what 140 divided by 5, that way 140 divided by 5 be 28. I think that's right. You can always use your calculator if you need to, but you're probably not going to have a calculator on the quiz. So it may take you a little while to do it. If you have to, go off on the side and do it long, 140 divided by, excuse me, this pen's not very good. 140 divided by 5, and then you can just put the 2 in there. That makes 10. Bring down the 40, a little long division, and you can see it's 8. Sorry about the pen, doesn't catch up sometimes, it looks a little sloppy. Then you're back to what you normally do. You get the 5 on the outside, so keep that going. Do not forget to keep that going, because remember, it's a product. The product represents what is the final answer. So that trinomial that you started with, that 5m to the 4th minus 55m squared plus 140, your final answer would have to multiply out and distribute, etc., and get that answer. So you have to keep that 5 in front. So then we're back to start. We have m squared and m squared. Now if we look at the positive 28, and we have a negative 11 inside, we got to think about the factors of 28 that make 11, but the signs are important. Because we have a plus sign at the end, we are going to end up having two minus signs in the middle. Because we need to get negative 11, but they need to multiply together to get positive 28. So 7 and 4 are your choices. All right, let's keep going. Should we keep going? Yeah, notice something else. Remember, we want to completely factor. While m squared minus 7 does not factor, from last year's Algebra 2 class, you would recognize that m squared minus 4 factors into the difference of two squares. So when they have the difference of two squares, m squared minus 4, it factors into m plus 2, m minus 2. All right, moving on to number 5. 88u to the 6th plus 44u to the 3rd minus 12. So now we have a 6th power. Again, it still kind of takes on quadratic form, because anytime you notice that the top degree, which is 6, and the middle degree, which is 3, if that's exactly half, that's quadratic form. So the first thing we want to do is factor out the 4, because there's a common 4 in them. And so when we do that, we get 20u to the 6th plus 11u to the 3rd. Oops. U to the 3rd minus 3. So this is a tougher one to factor, because now you have a lead coefficient that's 20, not just a u, a positive 1. So we got to think a little bit more. Factor out the 4. The nice thing is the back number is a 3, so we pretty much know that we're going to have 3 and 1. Okay, we just got to wait on the signs. But in the front, we have 20. The factors of 20 are 20 and 1, 5 and 4, 10 and 2. So this is kind of how I do it. It's a lot of guess and check. So you think about playing around with the numbers. If I put 20 and 1 in the first positions, then when I do FOIL, it's going to be 20 and 3, which is 23, or 17. Basically I'm putting 20 in the first spot. Or if I switch them around, if I put 20 in the second spot right here, and I put a 1 in the front spot, I'll get 20 times 3, which is 60. So I'm just kind of going through this stuff in my head, playing around with the positions. And I'm confident that 20 and 1 is not going to work. So then I wrote down 5 and 4. So maybe I will check 5 and 4 to see if it works. So if I put a 5 here and a 4 here, when I do this multiplication, this outside multiplication, this inside multiplication, those things have to combine to 11. So I would get 5 and 12. Well, 5 on the outside and 12 on the inside will not make 11, whether you're adding or subtracting. So I don't want to do that. So take those away. And I think I'll try the reverse. I'll try 4 here. I'll try 5 here. Now when I do that, I get 4 and 15. Well, 4 and 15, what I recognize about 4 and 15 is if I subtract those two numbers, I can get positive 11. So now I have to think about, how would I do that? Well, if this sign here was a plus and this sign was a minus, I would get negative 15, and then the outside I would get positive 4. That would give me negative 11. So that's not the way to do it. So I need to erase this. I need to change this to a plus, make this a minus, and now I would get negative 4 on the outside. I would get positive 15 in the inside, so I would make 11. So I just have to remember to put my u's in here, and I want to use the u term that's in the middle, u cubed, and now I think I'm confident that I have my answer. So 4 times the quantity 4u cubed plus 3 times the quantity 5u cubed minus 1. Alright, I got one more problem, and then we're going to have you guys try the evens. So number 7, we have 8x to the 4th minus 2x squared minus 15. Probably the toughest problem on here today because there's nothing in common. 8, 2, and 15 do not have a GCF. So now we have to kind of do what we just did previously. We have to play around with the factors of 8 and 15. Now, what some of you did last year is you might have taken 8 times 15 and got negative 120. So when you multiply 8 times negative 15, you get negative 120, and then what your teacher might have taught you to do is figure out factors of negative 120. So you might think about 60 and 2. The problem is 60 and 2 don't combine to be negative 2. You might have found 15 and 8. You basically have to play around with it. 15 and 8 don't make negative 2, but you're getting closer. So you might realize that 12 and 10 could combine to make 2, and if the 12 was negative, because you have to make a negative 120, then the negative 12 plus the 10 would be negative 2. So then what you would do is a process called factor by grouping. So when you factor by grouping, what you do is you write down 8x to the 4th minus 12x squared plus 10x squared minus 15. Your teacher might call it splitting the middle term. There's a lot of different ways to call it, whatever fancy way that your teacher taught you. But this is essentially what you do. You take the first term, 8, multiply it by the last term, negative 15. Get that result. Figure out what factors make the middle term, the negative 2. Then do a process called factor by grouping. So you group the first two terms and you factor out what's in common. So 4x squared. What left over? 2x squared minus 3. You group the last two terms and factor out what's in common, a positive 5. Write down what's left over after you divide it out, 2x squared minus 3. If you did this right, the things inside the parentheses would match. And they do. So then what you essentially do is you factor again. You factor out the 2x squared minus 3 that they have in common. So you factor that out. And then you write down what's left over, 4x squared plus 5. And that's your final answer. So what I'm going to do now is I would encourage you to pause the video, go back up, and I'm gonna go back up, show you the original problems. So go ahead and jot those down, number 2, number 4, number 6, until you write them down in your notebook, and then also number 8, and try all those problems. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll this page down. It's going to show you the answers, but I want you to stop the video right now. So I'll have the video will keep going, and it will actually show you the answers to the even problems. But what I want you to do is stop the video and go back and now try these in your notebook. Once you've tried them, go ahead and continue the video to see the answers. Good luck, guys.